Welcome to Projection Reflection, where we reflect and review on old and new films. I'm your host, Corey Donato, and today's review is Batman Ninja, one of the new DC animated films. This film is just outstanding, and I'm going to get into it a little bit here. The film was directed by Junpei Mizusaki, and one of the things I was surprised by was that the character designs were by Takashi Okazaki. I really hope I'm not butchering these names. But Takashi, actually, he was the creator of one of my favorite, it's on my list of favorite animes, Afro Samurai. So, that's pretty cool. And if you haven't seen Afro Samurai, I highly recommend it. The main character is voiced by Samuel L. Jackson. So yeah, if you can find this, check it out. It's awesome. This film was it was looking at Batman through the eyes of Japan. Like Warner Brothers and DC gave Japan full control. It was Warner Brothers Japan gave Warner Brothers Japan full control of the film. They were like, you know what, kind of do whatever you want with it. They just let's see what you got. And the film is it's an acid trip and a half, is what my friend Dylan said. It is just wow. The basis of the film is that Gorilla Grodd creates this time machine called the Quake Engine Time Displacement Machine, and this machine transports Gotham's villains and heroes to feudal Japan during the Warring States era. And each villain takes over a part of Japan, and they're all fighting amongst each other. And Batman actually appears later. He gets transported to Japan 2 years later, and he has to figure out how to defeat all these villains without his bat tech, without all of his gadgets. In this film, we get to find out, hey, what would Batman do if he didn't have all those fancy toys? It's like Joker said in the Tim Burton film. It's like, where does he get those wonderful toys? This film is just the whole story is great. The main villain, of course, is Joker, and this film, it's mainly a Batman Joker story. Of course, you got Gorilla Grodd. You got, let's see, I got all the villains written on here. You got Gorilla Grodd. You got Two-Face. You got Poison Ivy. You got Bane. You got Deathstroke. And you got Harley Quinn, but it's mainly a Batman Joker story. The whole film is based around these two characters, and they're just all out war against each other. I think they mentioned it. They mentioned it in the special features I watched on the DVD, that they're like two gods fighting amongst each other in this world. The heroes that are in this film are, of course, you got Batman, you got Catwoman, you got Robin, you got Nightwing, Red Robin, Red Hood, and then Batman's, trusty butler, Alfred Pennyworth. A cool fact in this film is that the guy who voiced Batman in this film was Koichi Yamadera, who also does the voice of Batman in the Tim Burton film from 1989. And so that means that, Batman's voice for people in Japan is that guy, kind of like how Kevin Conroy, for us fanboys, is the voice for Batman in America. I mean, for other people who didn't watch the Batman animated series, you got Christian Bale, you got Michael Keaton, maybe even Val Kilmer for some people, or Adam West, but for a lot of us, it's Kevin Conroy because we grew up with Batman the animated series. Speaking of voice actors, for the English dub dubbed voice actors. We have Roger Craig Smith, who voiced Batman in the Arkham Origins video game. We also have Tony Hale as the Joker. We have Grey Griffin as Catwoman. Harley Quinn as Tara Strong as Harley Quinn. Tara Strong's very well known for being Harley Quinn now. She has voiced her in several animated films, and she also has voiced her in all of the Arkham games. You have Will Friedle as Red Robin. Will Friedle, a lot of you might know him as the older brother Eric from Boy Meets World, and you might know him as Terry McGinnis, aka Batman, in Batman Beyond. And some of you who are Disney fans might know him as Ron Stoppable in the Disney show Kim Possible. Penguin is voiced by Tom Kenny, and if you know who Tom Kenny is, he voices SpongeBob. And he also voiced Penguin also in the Batman, which came out back in like the mid-2000s, back when the Christian Bale Batman film had just came out. Getting back to the big thing about this movie, I absolutely loved the animation in this film. Of course, it was computer animated anime, so it's different than some of the anime you're used to seeing, but it's still just outstanding. They did an amazing job on this. One of the things I really liked, I really liked the voice actors, and I also really liked the Japanese voice actors. Thing with that, people have been saying that the English and the Japanese versions are different. Well, I noticed that with the dialogue, but with the basic story of the film, it's really not all that different. It's not very different at all. The only different thing is there's a slight difference in the dialogue, but the basic story wasn't changed, so I don't see why people are getting so mad about how the story's different. The story is exactly the same. So I don't know. This film it blew me away, honestly. I remember when I first watched it with my friend Dylan, and we were both just what the hell? This movie is awesome. We're seeing you're seeing robots in the film. You're seeing feudal Japan, samurais, Batman wielding a samurai sword. You see all of Batman's rogues, most of Batman's rogues gallery in this movie, and it's an anime style. It was awesome. It was amazing. This film blew me away. Honestly, I was actually surprised that it blew me away, because I thought it was going to be okay, but I was actually really impressed. I really liked this movie. One of the scenes in particular, just the ending scene with Batman and Joker, an all-out fight with swords, and it was that is probably one of the best fights I've ever seen between Joker and Batman. Hands down. It was such a great fight. The animation in that one scene was just outstanding. There's also a scene where it almost looks kind of an old Japanese oil painting. I remember watching in the special features for this film that it was very calming. The animation for that one scene was very calming, and it felt when the dramatic parts of that scene came in, it was even more what's the word? Impactful. That when the dangerous stuff popped up in this calming animation, those dangerous parts of the scene really were impactful. Man, I'm trying to think of other things I can think of with this movie. It's a fun ride. That's all. I said that same thing about Solo: A Star Wars Story. This movie is a fun ride, and any Batman fan would love to have this film in their collection. It is just all out, just a very fun movie, a very well animated film, well voice casted. Watching either the Japanese dub or the English dub, they're both good. This is just, I was just extremely impressed with this. It's too good. I really liked it. Honestly, this is probably one of the best DC animated films in a while, since like see, I can't even think of it. It's been that long since there's been an actual really good DC animated film, and I really hope that the next DC animated movie is good, because that one's going to be The Death of Superman, and I'm really looking forward to what they do with that one. So, yeah, Batman Ninja, I would really check out this film. I give it a 5 out of 5. Like, I know it surprises me that I'm even giving it that, but yeah, I give it a 5 out of 5. When it comes to the DC animated movies, you can't get any better than this. I mean, if there's other ones you want to try out, there's also The Killing Joke. There's there is The Dark Knight Returns Parts 1 and Part 2. Justice League The New Frontier. Just look at the whole roster of the DC animated movies and you can find really great films. But this is definitely one of the ones that really stands out to me. This one was just great. I really loved it. I loved the animation style. I loved the voice cast. I loved the atmosphere of the film. And I loved that it showed us what Batman means to Japan. Because that's what the guys kept on saying. Like, we're seeing Batman through the eyes of Japan, not Batman looking at Japan through his eyes. Like, we're seeing what Batman would be, what it is to them in Japan, and it's just a great film, guys, and I highly recommend you check it out. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for Batman Ninja, and make sure to check out my next review, which will come out. I'm not quite sure what it will be yet, but I'll be sure to surprise you. So make sure to like and subscribe, and catch you later.